I don't really have a hook for this video because this dozen of donuts that I got today was not the dozen that I was hoping for. I was hoping to get the seasonal donut lineup that Krispy Kreme has right now, which includes like the raspberry cheesecake, chocolate truffle, cinnamon apple, stuff like that. But they ran out by the time I got there this morning, and it was only like 6:45 a.m. There's a couple lessons I learned about that today, and I'm happy to talk about them. I do have some other donuts though, and I have some of the seasonal ones, and then a couple of the newer donuts that came out maybe like 2 months ago. But this is what I got for the family. Let me take out the ones that I'm gonna be trying out today. That's part of the either new menu or seasonal menu. So first I'm gonna try one of these Oreo cream filled donuts. It's like an Oreo crumble on top, and then I think on the inside has just their regular icing. And then this one is the cinnamon sugar, which is one of the newest ones. So I was lucky to get that. And this one is their apple pie donut, which came out 2 months ago. And this one is their Caramel Dulce, which I think is one of the seasonal ones. So basically I didn't get the raspberry cheesecake and the chocolate truffle, but I did get half of them. And then some of the other ones that's been out for a little while. So let me put this box down and we'll try some out. First, I'm gonna try this Oreo cream-filled donut. I actually really like Oreo, so I'm hoping that this one tastes good, or at least as good as an Oreo and a donut mixed together. I got no cream in the first bite. I wanna try to get to some cream, and then I'll talk about one of the first lessons I learned about trying to get Krispy Kreme today. I wasn't expecting a chocolatey cream. It's good, but it doesn't really taste like Oreos. I'm gonna try to take off some of this. I think that the chocolate dip frosting that they put on top, it kind of masks the flavor of Oreos, if that's what this actually is. I don't know, I don't taste it. It's all right. I'm not a huge sweets person. I mean, I do like fresh Krispy Kreme donuts, but I'm not like crazy about them. All right, let me get to my first lesson. I left my house today around like, I don't know, 6:15 a.m. It takes about 30 minutes for me to get to Krispy Kreme. When I checked my app, before I drove there, and the assorted pack of 12 for the seasonal donuts was available on the app. And also I had just downloaded the app this morning because I don't really live close enough to Krispy Kreme to use it too often. But anyways, I see it on the app and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get to Krispy Kreme within an hour of it opening. They gotta still have the donuts that I'm looking for. So I was like, let me just get there and I'll order it so I can see them. As soon as I pull into the parking lot and I check my Krispy Kreme app one more time, it's like the donuts that are in your cart are sold out. So they were gone by the time I got there. And I don't know if that means that they like incorrectly made them available at first, or there's some crazy people out there at like 6:20 in the morning going to get Krispy Kreme donuts. And the seasonal ones at that. But they were gone. So first lesson is, if there's something that's trending and it might even have some bit of popularity and you're thinking about buying it, just buy it. I'm not one to like condone impulse purchases either. But really, once you know you think you're gonna get something, I guess besides food, there's always a return period. So just press that buy button, you know? Just get it and don't worry about it. Because basically I drove an hour, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back to get these seasonal donuts for a video, but it didn't work out. But I still have to, do something with it. And I'm happy about that. I mean, there's a different story to be told other than just reviewing donuts. But yeah, basically, I feel like nowadays it's just better to buy things on the app. Like when I do Taco Bell orders, McDonald's, Burger King, I always order on the app before I get there. And then, I just pull up to the drive-through or go inside to pick up. You tell them your name, you're good, you have your stuff reserved. And maybe that's just the way things should be nowadays. And I know that is not like a good thing, because face-to-face interactions is probably always the best. But it's probably easier for the employees too, because at between 6 and 7 a.m., the employees at Krispy Kreme, they were not like super friendly. They're busy. Maybe it's easiest just for them to read a name and an item list to help you out. Instead of how customers can be when they get up to the counter, and probably me included because I was really tired. You're just staring at the donuts, trying to figure out what you want. And nobody wants to help a customer like that. I mean, it reminds me of kids at Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm thinking about my own daughters too, who stand in front of the glass case, trying to think about what to choose. And then the person at the counter is just standing there come on, pick something. So that's my first lesson I learned today at Krispy Kreme. Just buy things through the app or online on the website, and don't worry about bothering people in person. Yeah, that's it. Okay, next up is this apple pie donut. You can see some of that apple pie filling pumped into there. I'll go from over here. I actually like this one a lot more than the Oreo one. I think that the texture of the donut itself, it's a lot better. Maybe because it's not hard. Because these Oreo crumbles, they make it really hard, and maybe even the donut itself feels drier. But this one, since it has a apple pie filling, it kept it more moist on the inside, so I actually like this one a lot. I've been having a lot of apple pie desserts lately from fast food places. But that's definitely the most apple pie-y one of the bunch. And let me see if I have another lesson that I learned today. When you're at Krispy Kreme, their counter is pretty tall. It's like a person's height, a shorter person. So I'm 6 feet tall. And when I was asking the guy to fill out the dozen box and trying to pick my own things, I was looking at what donut to pick. And I was okay, 4 of their Boston cream type donuts. And the counter itself is so tall, and I guess their donuts are so filled up, you can't even see what he's pulling out. So basically, I was looking at the donuts. I said, hey, can I get 4 of these? And then he just puts them in, and you don't really see what he's doing. And he's yeah, I got them. And actually, I was supposed to get 2 of those chocolate truffle donuts, but I think he misunderstood me, and he decided to grab the chocolate glazed donuts instead. So that's not really a life lesson, but it's more of a Krispy Kreme lesson. Yeah, you can't really see what they're doing behind the counter because it's too big. Again, just use the app. You get exactly what you wanted as long as you check the order. All right, next up, we're gonna try this cinnamon sugar glazed donut. I don't really know what to compare it to, but it is a more cakey donut than the other ones. And cakey donuts aren't really my thing. I like the texture of a regular donut like this better, or a Dunkin' donut. But I know that some people really like more cake-like donuts. It tastes good, but it's just not really my type of thing. It's very sweet, but the cinnamon powder on it is really delicious actually. And then I'll get into this last Caramel Dulce thing as part of their seasonal menu. And then I'll have one last take. It's not really a lesson, but it is an observation when it comes to donuts. It's their regular glazed donut with a little bit of extra flavor on top. It's not too special. I feel like this could be a normal flavor they always have. but it is really good. And the caramel drizzle, like these dark brown spots, it actually just tastes like straight up caramel. Like the texture of it is still like a little sticky. Yeah, it's still sticky like a freshly made caramel. And the texture of these donuts still maintained. In my rankings of which ones of these four I like the most, it's probably going to be the apple pie first. Then I like this caramel dulce donut. Then this cakey donut. And then in last place is this Oreo cookie donut, which is surprising to me because I really thought I would like this one a lot. It's got that hard texture on top. You know when you eat cereal, it like hurts the top of your mouth, or like a piece of garlic bread? That's what this reminds me of, this hard cookie top. Let me try it one more time. Yeah. You gotta watch out. Also, this chocolate icing, now that I really got into it, is very, very sweet. So yeah, Oreo is last on this list. All right, and time for my last observation of the day. If you've ever been in a workplace and somebody brings donuts, it's never me because I can't afford it, or no one tasks me with taking the company card or whatever. But if somebody brings donuts, I feel like there's always somebody who's gonna feel bad in some way when the donuts are there. Now let me explain this, because if somebody brings, like, let's say 3 dozen donuts to try to feed the team, I feel like either the person who buys them is gonna feel bad if people don't eat all of them, because people in general, they like to be dainty in front of others, like in front of their peers. Like a lot of people aren't gonna be like, oh, let me eat like 3 donuts, because they just don't want to look like that person. So I feel like the person who buys the donuts is gonna feel a little bad because they were generous in getting all this free food and nobody is partaking enough. And then on the other hand, there's always somebody in that group who feels like they need to compensate for others not eating enough. And so I feel that when I see that, oh man, people only grab like 1 donut each, and then there's still 2 dozen boxes left over. So I feel like I gotta eat like 3 or 4 donuts to make up for everyone else. So I feel like that person feels bad, because then you feel empathy for the person who bought the donuts too. And then finally, and this is also me, but there's the person who probably wants to take home some donuts because they're probably going to get thrown out or wasted in some way. But then they feel awkward in asking to take home a whole box or dozen of donuts. Because I can guarantee you that the person who bought them probably is not going to go home and eat the whole box. Maybe they are. I don't know them. Those are my takes on donuts. It's not really life lessons now that I think about it. Well, maybe some things are, like trying to buy things online instead of in person, because nobody wants to talk to each other anyways. So that's it for this video. If any of you stuck around to listen to my ramblings about life and donuts, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.